Good morning, students. I'm Dr. Harshita. I'll be handling PGIE, that is Personal Growth and Interpersonal Effectiveness, dual subject view, and the code is 20 MBA HR 402. So basically, this subject deals with the personal growth and its effectiveness on human beings, how well he can understand his pros and cons or his ability to judge people around him. So the first module teaches about dynamics of personal growth. That is, in this module, we'll be learning about the characteristics of personal growth, the nature of it, what exactly is personal growth, and few other parameters which are related to personal growth. That is self-awareness, self-esteem, as well as life roles and social roles and organization rules, and what exactly is the boundary which is associated with a particular role. Also, we have three ego states which we'll be learning in the particular module. And in second module, we will be learning about interpersonal trust. That is how well you can trust on the other human being. And there are general vague topics like confidentiality, openness, blind spot, self-disclosure, seeking feedback, and self-reflection, self-discovery of your personal traits. And as such, in module 3, we'll be learning about human personality and neurofunctioning, wherein you might have already learned this MBTI test in third semester. So again, we'll be recalling that and different personality theories which are there and prescribed in the syllabus. And in module 4, we'll be learning about the values, beliefs, or attitudes which are there in a particular individual and which affects the behavior and attitude of that particular individual, and how well he can adjust to the society with these characteristics. In module 5, we'll be learning about interpersonal relations and which affect the personal growth. And here again, we'll be learning about FIROB as well as discovering the interpersonal traits. And the last module teaches about the transactional analysis. Again, we'll be learning about the ego states, how you can interconnect the ego state with your personality and how to improve that, and the different terminology such as scripts or games or and different types of training process which are there included in the syllabus. So let us start with the module 1. So here, as you can see, we have the following topics in this particular module. So basically, we'll be learning about what exactly is personal growth and its scope and its nature, and also the other parameters related to personal growth such as self-awareness and self-esteem, and different types of roles. What exactly is a role and the different types of roles which are there in the syllabus, as well as how to improve oneself. So let us come to the first topic, that is what exactly is your personal growth. As you can see in the picture, a person has he has some goal, he wants to reach that goal with so and so target or so and so path which he has set for himself. And in the other picture, you can see a person climbing the stairs. Again, when you set a target or a goal, it is like you have to achieve it step by step, in the sense you have to go on achieving bit by bit, which again leads to the path of success, right? So what exactly is personal growth? See, personal growth is something which is a continuous process. That is, it is an ongoing process, and it starts from an early age, which is mostly shaped by your parents or persons who are responsible for your upbringing, and your teachers at the school or the colleges, as well as the environment, that is the society. So it broadly refers to a subset of personality development that relates to the process of becoming better in a personally meaningful way. And again, through this personal growth, what you do, you understand yourself and you try to reach, or you try to achieve the target or potential, whatever you have set for yourself. Constantly, you need to seek what I am lacking in and what I need to do to achieve the areas which I lack in or which I'm not good at. And again, this personal growth, it can change your attitude towards work, and therefore it might help you to achieve new levels, or to advance in your career. And it also help you grow emotionally, mentally, so to make helps you make a better person, as and when you try to understand yourself, or as and when you try to understand the concept of the personal growth. And also, it's not only about the values which you give to your own life, and also how well you value the society or the people around you in the society. So again, a very simple and useful method for personal growth is you just need to look at your behavior and your life with an open and unbiased mind. Like, you're open for whatever ideas or suggestions you get, so that you can improve better in your life. And personal growth doesn't mean only it is concerned to your personal behavior. It can relate to your academics or your work related behavior, your personal behavior, your emotional traits, the way you mingle with people, or the way you behave with people, the attitude you show. So it consists of the various dimensions of a particular individual. And again, as said by Jean Vanier, growth begins when we begin to accept our own weakness, right? So any point of time you start growing, in the sense you need to mature yourself and understand yourself, where you stand for, when you are comparing yourself with the other persons. As you see, people are different from one another, and what works for one individual might not work for other individuals. So he has to take care of his own abilities, or or his own areas wherein he can improve, where he lacks for, or where he is interested in, right? And here are some of the examples of personal growth, that is learning to control anger, learning to overcome laziness, learning to be more polite and considerate, and becoming more responsible person, learning new things and developing new skills, changing your mindset and becoming more positive person. See, these are few examples which shows that a person who wants to improve himself, that is, who wants to grow personally, or improve his behavior, he can adapt these parameters in order to improve himself, right? The most important realization that an individual can make in their quest for personal growth is that there is no single formula that defines the path to personal success. We all have different goals and priorities, which means that different activities and attitudes will make us feel good about ourselves. We also have different natural strengths and weaknesses. Yes, because see, these strengths and weaknesses, these are different for different individuals, and again, it depends on what kind of personality you possess, or you have been brought up and that particular environment, right? So we have listed some of the prerequisites for personal growth, that is motivation, desire for personal growth, willing to work, overcoming inferiority complex, building confidence, setting goals for life, and self review. In the next slide, we'll be learning about the significance of personal growth. What is the significance, or you can say benefits or advantages of personal growth? It helps an individual to learn from their mistakes. It helps individual to learn more about oneself and others as well. People develop positive, nurturing relationships. Employees learn to balance professional and personal life relationships. People are better equipped to face crisis situations and for creative problem solving. And it also improves self-awareness of an individual. An individual can improve his knowledge of whatever domain or whatever areas he want to improve for, and it also improves skills or learning attitude of the individuals, and developing strength or talent improves his career, identifying his potential or improving his potential. So these are the uh, main significance or main benefits of personal growth. And what are the strategies for personal growth? You need to keep learning constantly, right? The ability and desire to learn are powerful skills that can have a positive impact on many areas of your life, including your professional life. And volunteer your own time. That is, you need to make a timetable kind of thing, wherein you can divide time for each and every activity in a particular day. And you need to experience new things and places, get creative, make your health a priority. Is the most important thing nowadays. What whosoever an individual or whatever work he is doing, he needs to give topmost priority to his health, and evaluate your own life, manage your time accordingly, plan for the activities. And what coming to the nature of personal growth, it is people oriented management factors enables workers to use their wisdom and to receive appropriate training. Organization behavior sharpens and enlarges the domain for common sense, Studying the personality of an individual helps the managers to deploy people on right jobs. So again, when we come to the scope of personal growth, see, we already learned about the nature, the significance of personal growth, what exactly required for your personal growth, right? So scope of personal growth, when we come to scope of personal growth, there are four types of scope. That is spiritual scope, mental scope, social scope, and physical scope. So when we come to spiritual scope, spirituality is the most personal aspect to our life. That is, see, again, it depends on one individual to another individual how he believes in the spiritual aspect or spiritual understanding, and it is all different with different individuals. And we ask the hardest questions in in the spiritual domain, that is why, how, what, when it comes, and all those things. So mental, coming to mental area of personal growth or mental scope of personal growth, it represents the things we learn and how we try to express ourselves. It's like we continuously try to learn and expressing ourselves. So what happens throughout the journey of our life, what happens is we try to focus on the things that is learned and become more meaningful, right? So at that point of time, this mental scope of personal growth comes into effect. And again, when it comes to social life, so what happens in the social life? So social life is nothing but it's an aspect which covers all the relations, right? So what all it covers, for example, it includes our family, friends, and community, and relations, and all those, right? The way we manage our relationships sometimes, that also causes the reason of the social aspect or social scope of the personal growth. And physical level, the physical aspect is simply our body. So what happens in this, the body, what happens, our body plays a large role in defining an individual, right? So it's a vessel which in which we do everything else. So what happens, how well one takes care of his body, or how well he can represent in front of other individuals also makes sense. So all these four areas, they matter significantly, and they are the important characteristics or scope of the personal growth. Now let us move on to self-awareness. So what exactly is self-awareness here? So self-awareness is something which tells about what you have understood about yourself, or what idea you have about yourself. Right. So self-awareness is when people with high emotional intelligence, they usually they or evaluate themselves. It is having a clear perception of your personality, your strength, weaknesses, thoughts, beliefs, motivation, and emotion. Right. So self-awareness allow you to understand other people, how they perceive yours, or your the way you behave, or the attitude which shows. And it is the first step in creating what you want and mastering your life, where you focus your attention, your emotions, reactions, personality, and behavior determine where you go in life. Having self-awareness allows you to see where your thoughts and emotions are taking you, to which level it is taking. Self-awareness encompasses emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and self-confidence, as you can see in the slide. So, what exactly is this emotional awareness? See, it's like you are aware of the emotions which you possess, right? So, what happens at that point of time? You will be aware of what you are good at and how well you can control yourself, right? You need to assess continuously so that you can improve your self confidence. What are the benefits of self awareness? The better you understand yourself, the better you'll be able to accept or change who you are. Being in the dark about yourself means that you will continue to get caught up in your own internal struggles and allowed outside forces to mold and shape you. 21st century knowledge based economy demands that we upgrade our knowledge and skills to keep up with the ever changing society. And the clarity with which you can answer the questions like where I have been, or what I'm supposed to do, who am I, where am I going, where do I stand for, all these leads to self-awareness. And few examples for the self-awareness questions are like, what is your strength and weakness, and how do you describe your friend, how do you describe yourself, and do you agree with the points whatever being told, and list any situation where you can solve the problems easily. What is your dream, what is your target, what is your goal, what exactly is your idea or target which you want to achieve, and probably for the next few years down the lane, right? So this is about the self awareness. And what about the self-esteem? Now let us move on to the self-esteem. So coming to self-esteem, what happens is, see, we already learned about the personal growth, what exactly is personal growth and what exactly is self-awareness. Self-awareness is finding out yourself or finding where you lack in, or where how well you are, or where you stand when you're compared with your friends or colleagues or wherever it is, right? And what exactly is self-esteem? Self-esteem is satisfaction or dissatisfaction with oneself. That is the judgment or opinion we hold about ourselves with respect to the other individuals. It is again the extent to which we perceive ourselves to be worthwhile and capable human beings, as said by Cooper Smith, and he stated it in 1967. So again, so what are the factors that can influence self-esteem are, see, as you can see in the slide, there are many factors, that is family environment, achievement, physical appearance, self-belief, task proficiency, feedback from friends and others. All these factors, they support the self-esteem, right? So for example, family environment is, see, family is the first school of an individual. The way the child has been brought up, we can tell about how the family is, or depending on the family, we can tell the child is brought up in a good way or in a proper way. So when we think of these factors which support the self-esteem, so what we get to know is, see, self-esteem is something which is related to one's family as well as one's own characteristics. The characteristics of good self-esteem is, you should be able to make choices, trust your own judgment, and not feel guilty about what you have not done. And the most important is believing in your own capacity to solve problems, or try to overcome the problems or failures, and again believing that you are an asset to the organization or wherever you are. How to build your self-esteem, identify with people, or try to read more books or see videos or television shows, something like that, which helps you to improve your vocabulary or the language which you where you want to improve. And the first thing is, an individual should start thinking positively. He should set some achievable goals which he can uh, try to cover it up or try to achieve with a in particular stipulated time. And again, each and every day, try to create your own challenges so that you feel always elevated, do some good work. So when, as we saw in the diagram, the factors for self-esteem, so we can go in detail with that particular factor, wherein self-belief, task proficiency, because see, this task proficiency is something which tells us that when a work is given to an individual, how well or to what extent of proficiency or clarifiedness he tries to finish up the job, tells about his upbringing or the way he works. And again, feedback from friends and others is an important factor which helps to improve the self-esteem of an individual. Again, when coming to types of self-esteem, there are two types basically, that is high self-esteem and low self-esteem. As you are seeing in the slide, we have two main types of self-esteem, and these are the probably the characteristics or the scenarios wherein an individual will feel himself high or superior or low. Sometimes you can relate it to the word called inferiority complex or superiority complex, right? So next, coming to role. So what exactly is a role? It is a set of actions or activities which is assigned to the people, or which is expected from that particular people. And again, it will be continuously changing. So that this kind of behavior is continuously changing, and it may give an individual a social status or a social position. So that is called as role. That is whatever you are working or doing at that particular moment. is called as the role, or the part you play is called as a role. And role again is categorized into three different parts, that is life role, organization role, as well as social role. So we will be dealing with all these three roles in our next video. So this is the video 1 of PGIE, wherein we have learned about all these parameters so far. So in video 2, we will be learning about different types of roles as well as the ego states, and about how to improve yourself, that is how to make a self improvement plan as well as the defense mechanism. So thanks for listening to video 1 of PGIE students. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next class, that is video 2, or recording 2, wherein we'll be learning in the next modules. Thank you so much.